Right, that was my quick little introduction to Grimlock. I'm sorry, I'm not professional. I don't have a backdrop or anything like that. Just on a stool in my living room with a camera on a stick, and it's very uncomfortable. So this is the, I always just say Combiner Wars. I think it's the Power of the Proms Grimlock actually. Other than this part here, which isn't very covered up, I really like this Grimlock. A lot of people did not like the Dinobots from this toy line, and I don't know why. Because I've really enjoyed them. Velocitron, their combined form looks kind of silly. I know there's some extra stuff, accessories that you can buy for them, buy for it to make it look better and fuller, better hands, better feet, sword, etc. But what comes with the figures officially isn't bad. It just looks kind of a mess to me. I really think these shine individually. So if I do any more of these, we'll definitely need to use my other camera thing. Have you taken your Dramamine yet? So, I mean, he's got some stickers on him. They already came on here. He's got some of the see-through look from the G1 original toy. It's best to have his knee. Okay, yeah, the feet do not act like the G1 toy at all. I mean, his hands are in there, but they don't come out like the old toy does. You have to flip them out, and that's not exactly easy. That's one of the drawbacks, and it's best to have his knees at an angle like this, and the tail out like that. Otherwise, he's just going to look real flat. So this is the best way to do it. You can move his head a little bit up and down, open his mouth. He's got a little more motion than the original Grimlock. There's a little motion here, and this is going to be his shoulders when we transform him to bot mode. These got a little motion here, which is a little more than the G1 figure did. So he can show a little bit more motion than what he is. I mean, you can't exactly move this to make him look like he's scratching his head or anything in deep thought, about to put Computron together or anything like that. But still, to me, I think that's where these figures shine, is individually. That's why I got the aerial bots, and I think they were the first ones I collected of the Power of the Primes or Combiner War combiners back then. What was that, 2014, 2015, maybe 2013, I can't remember. Gosh, has it been that long? And because the aerial bots look so good together as individuals. The combiner teams don't look great together. Not as well as the originals, even though the originals had you couldn't pose them at all. But these are just, I mean, yeah, I'll agree. Third-party figures, depending on which company it is, can look really good. I do have the Mastermind Predaking, the not Predaking. I forgot what Mastermind Creation, what the Predacon, not Predacons combines. I forgot what he's called. But for these official Power of the Primes Dinobots, they're just really good looking as individuals. Just as the aerial bots look great individually. Who else do I have? The Protectobots and the Terracons. Because I was a nut. That's what really put me a little over the edge back in the 80s. I was cutting my grandfather's grass once or twice a month in the summer, just because our yards needed it. Being here in Alabama, and that when I was a kid and teenager, he would give me money. He would take me to Kmart, and I'd buy me a Transformer with my money. He probably would rather have, and I still have those figures. I do still have those figures. But he probably would have rather me have saved my money, probably, but he did like spending time with me. So, here's this Grimlock in his alt mode, which I'm sorry, despite this, you're probably going to be wanting to look at him from the front anyway, so you're not really going to see his backside. Just remember, try to keep his knees here kind of bent. But I wonder if they molded this here by accident, because it looks like these should be the Autobot symbols, the faction symbol. Sometimes some of his parts don't want to click in very well, so there's a little bit of space here. Let's see here, but let's go ahead and transform. So here he is, transformed. Just a great looking Grimlock. I'm sorry if some people don't think this is a good looking Grimlock. But I really think it is, because you have so much range on his shoulders here. Because you can move them out. And it's all because he is a combiner, and this is where you're going to get a lot of your motion from the combined character. Only problem is trying to flip his wrists out is a little a small issue, but it can be done. It can be done. Looks like, we got some mail. His head has good motion. Around, looking up just slightly up or down, but not much. And he just, despite how dumb they kind of dumbed down the Dinobots after their embarrassing fight with Devastator in the '86 movie, season 3 was not good to them. But I mean, you can tell this is where his tail folds up. You can tell where that hole on the bottom of his foot is where you're going to stick the ports in to build the combined form. But I normally don't do that. I just like them individuals. For just Dinobot Transformers, these are actually pretty good looking. They're a good size. I mean, I got fat hands, and this, I mean, he's good size. Just, you have so much motion. I don't think I'm going to be able to use both hands, guys. But he's got motion here on his elbows, doing this. Flipped his fist back in. Coming around like this, coming out. However you want to do it, not too tight, too much though. And just really get some cool poses. I'm sure he's got some good accessories, third-party accessories that you could probably buy, among some other things. I'm not sure what size his ports are, if it's 3mm, 5mm, I'm not really sure. But, it's not G1 Grimlock, but it's a variation of, and it's not made that great. Yeah, he's got butt plate here, but just... And I like flipping this all the way down to help kind of cover some of that up. In the way you can have his, these parts here, maybe if you like doing it closer to his shoulders for a bit of an effect or cape effect, or however you want to do it, which really is reminiscent of the original figure. It's just such a sharp figure. It really is. It may not be the Grimlock you're looking for, but for me, about 7 years ago, I have really enjoyed these Dinobots. I just don't normally put them in their combined state. I did for a short while at my old desk at work. Actually, it was about 4 desks ago, since I've been moved around some during that time. But this is just, I really enjoy these Dinobots. I really like this Grimlock. He was one of my favorites of the old show. And just in the and even in the show, I wasn't that much of a fan of them in the show. I kind of was. I was more of a fan of the toys and the figures. I wish this was a stool that actually moved and I could kind of move him around a bit, but I can't. But wow, just he's so posable. And because his feet are so nice and wide and thick, you can move him around, and he'll stay for the most part. Only thing is that if you play around with it, this part doesn't want to fully stay on this base, his waist, which twists quite well too. So just things to think about. Just what do y'all think? I think these guys have gotten a bit of a bum rap. Because the line they did come from, as I say that, he falls. But that's because he's probably on this stool and it's not very stable. But I've just really enjoyed these Dinobots. I don't combine them very often. I don't transform them there very often. They're on my new desk next to the 5 aerial bots. They're all individuals in their robot modes. I've got all the Dinobots in their Dinobot modes. I'm going to take him back there like this. And hey, I may be saying some praises about this guy, and I know he's got his flaws with parts that don't want to completely stick together from here or this part here, among maybe some other little issues that may not know that great about, because these guys have been at my desk for years, since the Ides of March of 2020, and I got to go back to my desk. I'm like, oh my gosh, my Dinobots. I'm going to bring these guys home. So here they are. Here's Grimlock. Tell me what you think. I really like them. They're just neat toys. With that, I better get back to work. I want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. We'll see you next time. And as always, me Grimlock kick boy.